Caitlin Clark doing stuff that just no player has ever done before.
I think she's amazing. I watched every time I possibly could. And our league loves her.
You've reached another level when some of the best basketball minds in the world start taking notice. And that's exactly what's happening with Caitlin Clark. Following a historic rookie season where she shattered records and surpassed even the wildest expectations, WNBA coaches have been lining up to give her the credit she deserves. It's rare for a first-year player to completely shift the landscape of a league, but Clark has done just that, and those who know the game best can't help but admire her. At just 22 years old, Clark has already made history. Youngest player to drop 25 points in a playoff game? Check. The only player in league history to lead the WNBA in both assists and three-pointers in the same season? Done. 62 records broken in a single year? Just another day at work for this rising superstar. She's not just setting rookie or team records, she's etching her name into the league's history books in a way that few ever have.
I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. I feel like there's just so many areas that I want to improve in and to continue to get in the gym and work on that every single day.
But what is it about Clark that has coaches around the WNBA calling her a once-in-a-generation talent? What exactly does she do on the floor that has veteran strategists labeling her the future of women's basketball? We're about to unpack the glowing praise from 10 of the league's top coaches who break down why Caitlin Clark is playing at an entirely different level. And if you stick around until the end, you might hear from some unexpected coaching legends who have something to say about her too. At the start of this video, you heard from Las Vegas Aces head coach Becky Hammon. Before stepping into coaching, Hammon was a six-time WNBA All-Star and one of the league's greatest players. Now, as the mastermind behind the two-time champion Aces and the 2022 WNBA Coach of the Year, she knows a thing or two about building elite teams. Even before Clark played her first professional game, Hammon recognized the special talent she was bringing to the league.
Caitlin, give her flowers. She's done stuff that no man or woman, black or white, has ever done in college basketball. Give that woman her flowers.
Fast forward to later in the season, and Hammon's praise for Clark only grew stronger. After witnessing firsthand what the young star was doing on the court, especially alongside fellow Indiana Fever cornerstone Aaliyah Boston, Hammon made it clear that the Fever were onto something special.
I think there's probably an understanding between Aaliyah and Caitlin, too, that they need each other. You both will be better when the other one is better. And, you become a legit two-headed monster with those two.
But Hammon wasn't the only one giving Clark her flowers. Remember when Minnesota Lynx and Team USA head coach Cheryl Reeve said she didn't care one bit about Caitlin Clark's impact?
As a coach of the home team, there's going to be a lot of people cheering for that other side. How about one?
Not even one.
Well, that statement aged about as well as a carton of milk left out in the sun. Fast forward a season, and Reeve is singing a completely different tune. Now, she's calling Clark a future Hall of Famer and acknowledging her undeniable influence on the WNBA.
What are some things that you're seeing from Caitlin Clark that stands out to you?
What I think makes her special, I know everyone will talk about the logo threes, and Steph Curry did that for the NBA, right? Think about his popularity because his ability, this little guy, slight of build, running around splashing threes everywhere, right? It's exciting. So obviously future Hall of Famer, and has had a great impact on the game already.
So what changed? Maybe it was watching Clark break record after record, or maybe it was seeing firsthand the effect she's had on the league's growth. Either way, the shift in attitude is glaring. It's funny how reality forces people to adjust their opinions, isn't it? What do you think was the real turning point for Reeve? Let us know in the comments. Former Connecticut Sun head coach and now current Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White also spoke highly of her at the start of the season, praising not just her on-court abilities but also her role in growing the game. Having played her college ball at Purdue and led them to a national championship in 1999, then played for and coached the Indiana Fever, White understands Indiana basketball like few others. making her words all the more meaningful.
Caitlin Clark and the many athletes that are coming into the WNBA are showing that these endorsement deals will follow great players and great ambassadors.
Remember when Coach Steph was defending Clark at the start of the season? It seems like this partnership was really meant to be.
When I'm, looking at all these things that people are talking about with Caitlin Clark, it's like, guys, chill out. Like, she's gonna be fine. Like, it's 2 games in. Are you kidding me? She's a student of the game. She got better every year. You're not going to just absorb all of the new information that's coming at you in 2 games, in 2 weeks. It takes time. And she will. I have no doubt about it. She's a student of the game. She continues to get better. And these are also points that coaches then address. Hey, let's continue to work on this.
Even after her Connecticut Sun eliminated the Fever in the first round of the playoffs, White didn't hold back in showing admiration for Clark. She made it clear that Indiana, led by its young core, is on the verge of becoming a powerhouse for years to come.
The thing that's made this Indiana team, I think fun to watch for everybody is just that they play with so much joy, right? Like they're young, they enjoy the game, they have fun together, and they don't take things too seriously. So there's some good things in that too.
Then there's Sandy Brondello, the 2014 WNBA Coach of the Year and the current head coach of the reigning WNBA champions, New York Liberty. She's been around the game at the highest level, both as a player and a coach, and she spoke about the impact of what she calls the Caitlin Clark effect, a movement unlike anything the league has seen since its inception.
Look, I think it's just the whole momentum, the movement that we have at the moment. It's very exciting. And, Caitlin, just the impact that she's had on this city and this franchise, but also on the WNBA. And
Brondello summed up Clark's game and presence in one word: fabulous. But it wasn't just about her skills. It was her poise, maturity, and ability to carry herself like a seasoned pro that stood out. When someone with Brondello's resume calls a rookie that polished, she's witnessing something special.
Caitlin's, she's a fabulous player, so she's going to get a lot of attention naturally. And I think she's handled herself brilliantly, to be quite honest. It's tough for a young kid, but she's got the skills and she's going to be an amazing pro player.
Next up, we have former Dallas Wings head coach Latricia Trammell, one of the most respected leaders in the WNBA.
I think all the players are excited about what she has brought to women's basketball. I mean, you got to give the young lady credit because she is a incredible talent.
Known for her grace and sportsmanship, Trammell has never shied away from giving credit where it's due. And after watching Clark rack up a record-breaking 19 assists against the Wings last July, she couldn't help but tip her hat to the Fever's star. That kind of playmaking is rare, and Trammell knows it. Her words of admiration solidified just how highly coaches around the league regard Clark's ability to elevate her teammates.
Everybody's been watching Caitlin. She's a great player. She's playing at a very high level, especially with her assists. Like, there's a lot of shots she turned down because she was looking for her teammates. I mean, that just speaks volume of how she is as a player. I don't know her as a person, but she's a great player. What she does, what she's been doing since game 1 till now. Got nothing but respect for her. She did her thing tonight. Just awesome all around.
And then there's Phoenix Mercury head coach Nate Tibbetts, the man who led Diana Taurasi's squad before she decided to retire. He's had a front row seat to see Clark in action, and his assessment is simple. Caitlin Clark is a walking offensive threat, especially when she's orchestrating a pick and roll. Defenders don't just have to worry about her scoring. They have to account for her vision, her passing, and her ability to read the game at an elite level.
Her presence coming off pick and roll puts you in a, different situation just because of how far she can shoot it from. And I thought we did a good job for the most part. A couple transition threes, but she really competed on the ball.
After the Fever swept the Mercury in the regular season, Tibbetts doubled down on his praise, giving credit not just to Clark, but also to her backcourt partner, Kelsey Mitchell. It wasn't just about the numbers. It was about how Clark controls the pace of the game, sets up her teammates, and makes every possession dangerous for opposing defenses.
She was getting open. Obviously, Caitlin is an unbelievable passer, and Kelsey shot the heck out of it. So I thought Caitlin made good plays looking for Kelsey. I'm not sure how she was getting open, but we'll have to look at that.
Now, let's talk about one of Clark's biggest doubters, Cheryl Swoops. While Swoops has remained one of her most vocal critics, her former teammate and WNBA legend Cynthia Cooper has taken the opposite stance. Cooper, the first ever WNBA MVP and a former head coach in the league, didn't hold back when discussing Clark's impact. She shut down the noise and delivered some real, well-earned respect, calling Clark the future of basketball.
I wish, Caitlin Clark had had that experience this year because she's our future.
But she didn't just stop there. Cooper went into detail about what makes Clark so special. From her court vision to her leadership, Cooper recognized that Clark isn't just another talented scorer. She's someone who changes the game whenever she steps on the floor. When a basketball mind as sharp as Cooper's acknowledges Clark's greatness, you know it's the real deal.
I'm sitting there like, oh my God. But she's so crafty. This is what people don't know about Caitlin. She's not just a three-point shooter. She's a great passer, not a mediocre passer, not so-so. She is a great passer.
And then Cooper took it a step further. She openly stated that including Caitlin Clark on Team USA wouldn't just be great for the team. It would be great for the entire country and the sport of basketball as a whole. That's not just a compliment. That's the ultimate validation. For all the debate about whether Clark belongs on the Olympic roster, one of the greatest basketball players and coaches in WNBA history just made it crystal clear. Caitlin Clark is not only deserving, but she's exactly what the game needs.
Any USA basketball experience for someone as young as Caitlin Clark is going to benefit America for years and years and years and years. So yeah, I would put her absolutely on Team USA.
And if you thought that was the biggest praise, just wait until you hear what she said next.
She's just a rookie. That level of greatness, that level of play on a consistent basis as a rookie puts you up in the upper echelon of any league, definitely the W.
Former Atlanta Dream head coach Tanisha Wright didn't hold back when asked about Caitlin Clark's impact. She acknowledged what so many have come to realize. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, and you don't have to be an Indiana Fever fan to appreciate it. Wright admitted that facing Clark wasn't just about game planning for an elite scorer. It was about experiencing firsthand the wave of excitement that follows her wherever she plays.
Love to see a packed house. Super excited to be here, be in State Farm, the opportunity to play in front of so many people, such an amazing crowd. Our team is really excited, and I think we're ready to go. So, a big part of this has to do with Caitlin Clark and the brand of basketball she's brought here and she's been playing.
For an opposing coach to outright say that a packed arena had a lot to do with the player on the other team, that's the ultimate sign of respect. Wright's candid acknowledgement was proof that Clark's influence extends beyond just her teammates and fans. It's felt league-wide, even by those trying to stop her on the court. At number 9, we originally had former Chicago Sky coach Teresa Weatherspoon. But, well, she's got fired and hasn't found a job yet. After a tumultuous season, she was let go, and truth be told, she never had anything positive to say about the Indiana Fever anyway. Whether it was walking out of an interview or refusing to acknowledge the Fever's progress, Weatherspoon made her stance clear. We wish her the best in her future endeavors, but she won't be making this list. And now, we round things out with former Indiana Fever head coach Christy Sides. While her coaching strategies have faced their fair share of criticism, one thing remains undeniable. She has been one of Caitlin Clark's biggest supporters from day one. Sides has consistently emphasized Clark's growth, not just as a scorer, but as a leader, highlighting how much she's matured in just her first year.
She's playing really well. She's shooting the hell out of the ball. And she's making sure she's finding those open players. She had some amazing assists tonight. Triple-double, second one for a rookie. Just really, really proud of her and her continue to keep her teammates involved, and then also just her growth. It's been great.
After Clark's career night against the Chicago Sky, Sides was beaming with pride, breaking down just how special Clark is, not just because of her offensive arsenal, but because of the way she elevates those around her. She sees what so many of Clark's supporters have been saying all along. This is a player who's redefining the role of a point guard in the WNBA.
Yeah, she took the shots that were hers and knocked them down. She distributed the basketball. She takes so much attention, you know, and she's able to find those open looks for her teammates. I mean, all around. I mean, she was really close to a triple-double, wasn't she? I mean, she just had a great game all around.
And now the fun part. We have two special surprises. First, we have the coach who knows Caitlin Clark better than anyone, Lisa Bluder. Clark's college coach at Iowa has always been her biggest champion. And when asked what makes Clark so unique, Bluder summed it up perfectly. She explained that Clark isn't just a scoring machine. She's a player who makes everyone around her better. It's not just about how many points she puts up. It's about the way she reads the game, anticipates plays, and sets up her teammates for success.
Truly, you know, Caitlin has a different set of rules because she's a special player and she has different talents than most people have as far as her shooting range.
Bluder's final words about Clark were the kind of praise that leaves a lasting impression. This isn't just another star in the making. This is a generational player who is changing the sport right before our eyes.
Caitlin is a great teammate, and if she wasn't a great teammate, it might be hard. If she walked around like she was the star, she doesn't walk around like that. When Caitlin's light shines, it shines on all of you. And I try to remind our team of that all the time, is yeah, we're gonna enjoy that light and it helps all of us.
Come back, baby! Come back! I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Everybody down. Everybody down.
And as another treat, we have LSU coach Kim Mulkey. Yes, Angel Reese's former head coach didn't hold back on her praise of Clark dropping her a special message before her Iowa jersey got retired.
I can describe it firsthand, having played her 2 years in a row in the playoffs. She's a generational talent. She's a young lady that you just can't take your eyes off of when you watch her play. And I know all of Iowa is proud of her, as they should be. And when we played her in the playoffs this year, I said, thank goodness I don't have to see you anymore. And that's about as high a compliment as I could pay a young lady.
So there you have it. 10 WNBA coaches and 2 very special college coaches, each offering their own perspective on Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise. From rivals to mentors, from skeptics to believers, the message is clear. Clark isn't just another talented rookie. She's ushering in a new era of basketball, one that has the entire league talking. But more than just the accolades, the records, and the recognition, Clark's legacy is about inspiration. She's proving to young players everywhere that greatness isn't just about talent. It's about work ethic, leadership, and the willingness to embrace challenges head-on. This is history in the making. And the best part? Caitlin Clark is just getting started. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.